What you're about to listen to is one of my favorite, absolutely favorite consciousness engineering interviews I've done. It's with a man called Morty Lefko, and most likely you've never heard of Morty. Morty Lefko is one of the most fascinating men I know because he never, ever, ever gets stressed out. He doesn't seem to fear anything. He's always solid as a rock, the epitome of being calm, centered. He just seems to live in his own world, free of sadness or worries or any form of stress at all. Now, the reason Morty is able to live like that is because Morty has developed a very, very, very unique model and system of living in the world. He calls it the Lefko belief process. It's something he teaches, and he's had about 14,000 people work with him one-on-one, and 150,000 people take his programs online. So Morty at one point was going through a massive depression. He had had his second divorce, and he made an observation. He realized that almost everything he believed about the world wasn't necessarily true. He noticed that human beings would witness something, would witness an event, and then they would create a belief, a meaning around that event. That meaning would often lead to anger, fear, frustration, stress. But he found that the meaning and the event were often completely unrelated. Someone else witnessing the same event might form completely separate meaning. I experienced this recently. I was meeting a friend in a cafe and I showed up late. And my friend was really, really, really upset. And I asked him why, and he said, "You disrespected me. You showed up late." And I realized that this was one of the guys that I respected most in the world. That to him, I disrespected him because he attached a meaning to me showing up late. Perhaps showed up late because I have a one-year-old baby and you know, babies do what babies do, and I had to clean a dirty diaper before getting in my car, or I got stuck in traffic. So as we talked, we overcame things, but it was really interesting to see that one of the people I respected most in the world created a completely separate meaning based on something he witnessed about me. Now, when I realized this, I started introducing this type of models into our company, and it really helped train people to remove stress or sadness or anxiety, because often people would get upset over something a coworker said or a boss said, but we showed them how the meaning they attach is completely different to what was really going on. You got to separate meaning from the actual event. Now, what you're going to learn in this particular consciousness engineering class is how to do exactly that, how to take any issue, according to Morty, emotional issues, eating disorders, fear of public speaking, anxiety, procrastination. When you understand the Lefko belief process, you get to see why you have these issues and unplug it from your reality. So in this class, you're going to learn about beliefs. You're going to learn about how to disassociate meaning from an actual event. And we're going to tackle 3 of the most common bad beliefs that all of us had. I had this. I'm doing all the work I can to make sure that my children don't grow up with these beliefs. Odds are you have at least one of these beliefs. Can you guess what they are? All right, here's the list from Morty. I'm not good enough. Not just good enough, but maybe not good enough at a particular something, or good enough as a human being, or not good enough as the guy next door. Second, I'm not important. Third, mistakes and failure are bad. According to Morty, all of these beliefs make absolutely no sense. And if you had them, it's because of a formal level of programming that you can learn to remove from your ecosystem. So we're going to learn about the belief process. We're going to see how to disassociate meaning from an actual event. We're going to go through the 3 most common beliefs. I'm also going to share a really, really, really personal story that only my closest friends know. And I wanted to share it because I'm hoping that some of you may gain something from this story and not make the same mistake I made. We're also going to talk about how beliefs affect parenting. I know at least half of you, like me, have kids. And this is just another way to not mess them up too much. Finally, we're going to learn the Lefko freedom process to dissolve meanings. You learn a number of techniques that you can use to help dissolve your meaning-making machine in the world, and so that all of us perhaps someday can live like Morty Lefko and be completely free of anxiety, stress, and all manner of fears. Let's get started.